Modu and TVC Adeoye in our Abuja studio. Good morning, guys. How is Abuja doing? TVC, do you have a manager now? Because I know that you do content online.
Good morning, Veronica. Actually, I don't have a manager yet. I manage my page myself, which is quite tasking. Content creation is not an easy stuff, so we must give it to those content creators because they are doing a whole lot of job, and you know the team behind and content creation. There's a lot that goes into content creation.
Absolutely,
you know, and then
absolutely. That's why you need a manager
to give them their credit.
Good morning, Eshomomo.
Yes, I'll consider getting one. Maybe Ibrahim should consider being my manager.
You're going to have to break your bank to pay me, you know.
That's quite interesting. So Ibrahim, do you have a manager for your page?
Well, I'm a manager of myself. I'm just to myself as TVC is to herself as well. But maybe when the money comes out so much, we can begin. Who is my manager?
Your wife is.
Oh, yeah. Okay. The director just reminded me that my wife is my manager, and he's absolutely correct.
All right, take it away now.
You know, today is Friday. Today is Friday, one day I look forward to all the time. I don't know about you, what you're looking forward to on Friday like this. Where you'll be winding down?
All right, if that's for us.
Go into the business.
Yeah, if that's for us, we will definitely, after the show, maybe we'll go home. But I know at the end of the month, we have something brewing for TVC staff members. Abuja, get ready.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. Now, it's another Friday, and we are glad to have you join us on the show. We are live from our studio here in the federal capital city of Abuja. Now, as Africa's largest economy, Nigeria's development story is as diverse as its regions. However, disparities in regional growth continue to challenge the nation's overall progress. And from the oil-rich Niger Delta to the agricultural hubs of the north, each region holds immense potential, but finding common ground to drive inclusive economic growth has proven difficult. On the show today, we will explore how regional collaboration could hold the key to unlocking Nigeria's economic future. The issue of regional development has long been a point of contention in Nigeria, with each geopolitical zone advocating for better infrastructure, more investment, and fair resource allocation. At the heart of the conversation is how to balance the unique needs and strengths of each region to create a unified path for economic growth.
Nigeria's economic potential lies in its diversity, the North's agricultural capacity, the South's oil wealth, and the East industrial drive can complement each other only if a collaborative approach is infused. Regional differences in infrastructure remains a major barrier. While urban areas like Lagos and Abuja thrive, rural regions in the north, south, and other parts of the country struggle with limited access to roads, electricity, and healthcare. By fostering collaboration, improving infrastructure, and addressing regional disparities, Nigeria can build an economy that works for everyone. The key is prioritizing policies that unite the nation rather than divide it. And to walk us through what the federal government is doing to bring these regions together and harmonize their economic potentials for national development is the Honorable Minister of Regional Development, Engineer Abubakar Momo, who joins us live in our studio today. It's good to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning.
Good morning.
And good morning to Nigerians.
Yeah. Let's start with the recent decision to resume crude oil production in Ogoni land. This has been met with stiff resistance, but we have also seen President Tinubu's efforts to allay the fears of critical stakeholders. But don't you think the priority should be the cleanup of the Ogoni area? Don't you think that the government is putting the cart before the horse?
Well, thank you very much. I can say that since the beginning of the year, the meeting we had this week is the second in the series of meetings that have been convened by Mr. President in order to show that there's peace and harmony in Ogoni land. I think earlier this year there was one, and within this week there was another one. And the one of this week was a full house made up of different groups of Ogoni land. And actually Mr. President appealed to them the need to maintain peace and harmony so that we will resume oil production in that place. And already Mr. President has given the task to the National Security Advisor to bring these groups together and also to work in collaboration with critical stakeholders in the Niger Delta region. Well, to come back to your question, you are asking whether it is not proper to clean up Ogoni land before any other thing.
Shouldn't it be
yes,
a priority?
Yes. But I want you to know that quite a number of people don't know what is happening in Ogoni land. Sometimes this year, I think in May or April, I was in Ogoni land with the Minister of Environment. There is massive work that is actually going on in Ogoni land today as I'm talking to you. And immediately after our visit, I felt very happy because what we're hearing is completely different from what I saw on the ground. And I want to say that most of the things you can find on ground today came on board in the last 1.5 years. For instance, massive water projects in the various communities in Ogoni, only 2 were commissioned before this administration came on board. But as I'm talking to you now, 7 have been commissioned. I was there, we commissioned about 2 or 3 of such projects. The Center of Excellence, if you go there, is more than any other university in Nigeria that is there. We went to the mangrove area where planting is going on. We went to area where decontamination of the soil is also going on. So massive work is actually going on in Ogoni land. But what I've come to notice is that most of the activities of the HAPREP are not being publicized. Because if they are publicized on a regular basis, Nigeria will get to know that, yes, something massive is going on in Ogoni land. And the natives are fully aware that all these efforts are being made by government. I think it is in the light of the tremendous move that has been made by this government that has made Mr. President to believe that this is the time to talk to the people of Ogoni land. And he has done it, and the people were quite happy with what the president is actually doing.
You say massive work is ongoing in Ogoni land as we speak, but I don't know if you've seen the publication by the Associated Press quoting leaked documents by the United Nations that the hydrocarbon pollution remediation project has failed in its assignment to clean up Ogoni land. The exercise, I believe, has so far gulped about $1 billion so far, and there's claim that the contractors selected have no relevant experience in this regard. How are you advising President Tinubu to review this contract? Well,
for me, I entirely do not agree with that concept, because those are statements by the critics. There are so many people criticizing, but like I told you, how many of them have gone to the place to see what is happening? If you talk of United Nations, yes, they could say that it has failed because HAPREP is a project. They were given a limited time within which the Ogoni land should be cleaned up. But unfortunately, within that limited time, they've not been able to do all that they are expected to do. But with the coming of this administration, as I've told you, the activities of HAPREP in charge of hydrocarbon remediation in that area has been geared up towards the direction. The $1 billion you have mentioned, yes, that is the money for the project, right from I think 2017. That the project, it's not as if all of that money has been expended. But the money, part of that money is still there that is being used to do all these projects. And you talk in terms of refocusing the projects in that area. Well, of course, there is a committee that is a board. There is a governing council that always meets in respect of the contracts and rest of them. I think one was heard here yesterday. But I want to let you know that as far as those people that have been given contracts and are not performing the concern, the governing council and the board have mandated the PC to go after them, and no one kobo will be lost. Okay. And as far as that project is concerned, is on focus. Okay. And I can tell you authoritatively.
All right. Nigerians will hold you to task with that statement that no one covered, because
yes.
you know we had a history with the NDDC when we talk about investigating the finances during President Buhari's regime. Even the former EFCC chief made very negative comments about the NDDC. But beyond the NDDC, other regional development areas, what exactly are your plans in those areas, like you have in the Niger Delta now? What other plans do you have? What are those key factors you are looking at in those other regions?
Well, the regional commission, I'm sure you are talking in terms of the recently created regional commission.
Yes, exactly.
Yes, the regional commissions are going to serve as engine of growth and development. Because today, you have a regional commission like the Northwest has been established, the Southeast, apart from NDDC and the Northeast Development Commission that are already there. I think what is expected is that by the time these commissions take off, they will be made to focus on grassroots development. Because today, you discover that there are quite a number of communities and villages in this country that they will tell you that they have not seen what we call evidence of government, federal government. But with the regional development commissions on board and operating side by side with other government agencies, there's going to be massive development. For instance, today, no matter what anybody could say about NDDC, in the past, I still let you know that there are some communities today who, of course, the evidence of government that they have seen in the past few years are those development efforts by the NDDC.
Does that also suggest that the various governments, sub-governments failed? Because if you need an NDDC to fix things, does it mean failure on the sides of those sub-governments?
I'm not in a position to ask or to say whether they have failed, but all I know from what I've seen so far is that NDDC, if you go to the remote area, don't forget that Nigeria is a very big and diverse community. If you go to some remote area in the Niger Delta region, you will appreciate what I'm telling you today. It does not necessarily mean that other governments are free. They could concentrate on other areas and abandon others. So what I'm trying to say, I say there are some communities who, before now, they have not even seen evidence, maybe in terms of water, in terms of electricity. If you go to Niger Delta region now, you can see so many communities have been solarized. And other massive projects, road projects are going on, electricity projects are going on. But just because a black man wants his heart to, all his heart to be open, which is very, very difficult, there have been a lot of rots in the system in the past, but a number of efforts are being put in place to ensure that all of these are addressed. But to come back straight to your question, the regional commission, when they are fully on board, like you said, we have to promote regional competition, we have to promote regional cooperation, and all of this will be geared towards enhancing development and growth of this country. I think that is what we need in Nigeria today.
Well, we still have more to discuss on this topic, but we'll take a quick break now. Don't go anywhere. We still have more for you on the program. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In Nigeria, almost every part of our lives is touched by the politics we play. Governance, legislative matters, the economy, security, foreign affairs, internal affairs. Have a feel as strategic plays in the political space determine how we live in Nigeria. The players, the drama, chess piece moves. Be kept informed. Watch analysis of major happenings in the political space and how it affects you. Watch Politics on Sunday.
Good morning.
Good morning. Why is your sun shining like this?
Can't you see that Harmattan season is here? We need to protect our children from this dry weather.
What about the invisible germs?
Invisible germs?
During Harmattan, it's not enough to only protect your skin. You also need protection from these invisible germs. To protect our families, we use Dettol.
Harmattan season brings a lot of germs, but Dettol with Germ Defense gives protection from up to 100 illness-causing germs. Be Dettol sure.
Watch Politics on Sunday.
We're glad to have you back. If you're just joining us, we have been speaking with the Honorable Minister of Regional Development, and we've been speaking on, regional development so far. Let me take you back to the issue in the Niger Delta. The situation in Ogoni land represents a microcosm of broader challenges in managing environmental disasters in areas with significant oil operations, highlighting the need for better governance, transparency, community engagement, and better sustainable environmental practices. How well has the Petroleum Industry Act put in place a good framework, and how is this being enforced?
Well, of course, you are taking me to a different area, which is not, of course, within my purview, because the PIA is being operated by the Petroleum Minister and the rest of them. Yeah. My own role as a regional minister is when you come to the host community fund. And my role there is when a report comes to me that the host community fund is not being well administered, then I will invite the operating oil company and the community on a roundtable discussion for harmonious settlement. That is the extent to which I play. But in terms of other issues relating to the nitty-gritty of that operation, the PIB Act, or PIB, yes, Petroleum Industrial Act, I'm sure the Petroleum Minister is in a better position to give you insight of what they are doing. I wouldn't want to give a view that conflicts with what they have on ground. But in terms of environmental cleanup and the rest of them, I only can say something because I'm a member of the Governing Council of HAPREP that is charged with remediation. But the overall activities or the overall coordination is also within the Ministry of Environment. Don't forget, my ministry as a Minister of Regional Development is to coordinate these activities. It's not as I'm the one directly in charge. So I think the ministers of this particular portfolio should also be invited to give an answer, but ask me questions purely based on regional development and growth.
Okay, well, how well are you protecting the interests of the region against unwholesome practices by these oil corporations, these oil companies?
Well, for instance, we are talking of how well I'm protecting them. I do not have the force of cohesion or the rest of them. But all we need to do is that, like I've told you, if there's any challenge faced by any of these communities, they normally write to me. There are quite a number of communities that have written to me in respect of pollution in their area. And we have had a series of meetings with either Shell or Chevron in order to address these challenges. So I think, as far as I'm concerned, the PI Act, the Petroleum Industrial Act, has made enormous provision on the protection of the locals as far as this area is concerned. But the extent to which I come in is when there's a conflict. Okay. Once there's a conflict between the operating oil company and the host community, then we will come in.
The Honorable Minister, your responsibility is quite huge, yes, because it's gone beyond just the Niger Delta. Now you have other regional development attached to your portfolio. Take, for instance, in the north. What exactly are your thoughts on how to integrate and help stimulate growth and development, for instance, in the northeast or in the northwest? Talking about the peculiar problem and that they have security challenge. So what are you going to be putting in place, or how are you going to encourage them to stimulate economic growth within their own region?
Thank you very much. I think today the greatest challenge we have in this country is that of security. And the situation is even more pronounced in the north as of today than in the past. The Nigerian Armed Forces are doing a lot to see that the issue of security is properly addressed in the north. And without addressing the issue of security, it's also very difficult to move in terms of development and the rest of them. So as far as I'm concerned, we as a regional ministry, we work hand in hand with the Nigerian military in order to ensure that there's peace and harmony in this region, in order to facilitate the growth and development of this region that the commissions, which I'm going to supervise, is a vision to carry out. Because the regional governments are going to be driven by the commission.
Solid.
And the commissions are in charge of the day-to-day running of those regions. And our role as a ministry is a supervisory role and policy direction. And wherever we discover that things are not moving well in the commission, we bring the management in line so as to fall within the mandate given by Mr. President. So I think in general, in order to address the issue of security and the rest of them, the ministry will work hand in hand with the Nigerian security forces that will be charged with the responsibility of maintaining peace in that region.
Okay. Well, at your ministry's budget defense at the National Assembly, some lawmakers raised concerns about the percentage of projects allocated to Edo State alone, particularly it was allocated, pegged it at 70%. Though this issue was settled in an executive section, I still want to know, how do you explain this?
Well, in fact, by the time they raised the issue, they had not gone through the entire gamut of the budget. So that is not true. So by the time explanation was given and they were satisfied because, for instance, you don't blame them. These are lawmakers representing different regions, different communities. So the first thing they will look at is to see whether, is there anything concerning their village? And you know that a budget of just 20 billion naira cannot accommodate the needs of all the communities in Nigeria. I told them that as far as the ministry is concerned, they should see the budget. The budget that was even provided is a budget of Niger Delta development, not even a budget of regional development, because what is provided to us this year is just it's even fall short of what we had last year. So it's even a budget of Ministry of Niger Delta. And to that very extent, you ask yourself, go and apply 20 billion naira in all the six regions. How? At the end of the day, you will end up getting project that you cannot even execute. You go and put 10 million here, 10 million there. So that's what is being expected. So I explained to the honorable members, and they were satisfied. I said, you have to urinate in one place and let it get formed. Then put token projects here. And that is what is happening in Nigeria today. That money you would have gathered and put in one project, execute it and commission it, you will be expected to split it into 15 number of projects. At the end of the day, you will not be able to achieve one. So I think with the explanation and the method that they also got more details of the budget, they were fully satisfied. And the issue was settled amicably.
Now you said the budget that was provided for was actually that of the Ministry of the Niger Delta.
Yes.
But at the end of the year, the accounting year, Nigerians in the northeast, in the northwest, in the north central, southwest will be expecting that, okay, what performance has the Ministry of Regional Development brought in place? How do you intend working with the various state governments in those regions to ensure that, low budget allocation, but I must still get certain things done?
I want you to be clear to you and viewers. The money for regional development is not domiciled in the Ministry of Regional Ministry. The money is in the commission. Many people are not even aware. When they see 2 trillion, they say, the ministry has the various commissions. For instance, Northeast Development Commission has its own fund. NDDC has its own fund. Northeast has its own fund. And all these funds are meant for the regional growth and development, not the small allocation that is given to the.
So you're saying
the
that you're
ministry.
just playing oversight
My role will be to supervise it, because every regional commission has a board, a governing board, and has a management team that is charged with the responsibility of spending this money with a chief executive. Our role as ministry is to supervise what they are doing, so that if they are not doing it correctly, in tandem with the mandate given by Mr. President, we'll be in position to call them to order. But the day-to-day running of this commission and the spending of that fund is in those companies. The ministry is not allowed to tamper with the funds of the commission, because they have the management team and they have a board and they do their day-to-day running. So that is it. I want Nigeria to know. So if you want to talk in terms of performance, yes, the performance of the ministry will be judged on the basis of the performance of those commissions. That is where the supervision comes in. So nobody should expect that when you are talking in terms of facilitating development and growth, you are coming to the main ministry, because there's no money in the main ministry that can facilitate the growth and development. If you come to us in the ministry, you talk of certain things to be done in your area, we call the attention of the board and the commission that so number of items need to be provided in social area. I think that's how it works.
Well, quickly, before we let you go, how soon would this Regional Development Commission become fully functional? Because it seems that more attention is being paid to the Niger Delta region and the Northeast.
Yes, I think already the two of the commissions, they'll be screened by the Senate. Okay. The other two are still waiting to be screened. Those that have been screened, they are waiting to get their appointment letter. The moment they are given an appointment letter, the next is for us to inaugurate them and they start operation. Those other ones that have not been screened, the moment the screening is done, the same thing follows. So I think in a very short time, that will come to pass. Good the thing is that a good number of them will be provided with a budget in this 2025. So the moment they are inaugurated, they will go into full action by, first of all, identifying their priorities. So one important thing, of course, they are going to do is to have a master plan. Master plan of the region. That is where the ministry also come in, the stakeholder come in, so that the master plan of what each region is going to execute will be in place. And the moment we have a master plan, that is a guide where, of course, implementation of projects will follow suit. And Nigeria, I think, in a very short time, they will see a difference by the time they are operating, complementing the effort of other ministries that are also charged with the responsibility of developing Nigeria.
Well, we must thank you very specially for your time with us on the program today, Honorable Minister, and we hope to see you some other time to discuss when all these regional development commissions are fully operational. We hope to hear how far this has gone in developing the regions in Nigeria.
Thank you very much.
Well, that's the much we can take on the show from Abuja. Let's hand you over to our Lagos studio, where Veronica and Ibrahim are standing by for the continuation of the program.
Thank you, Tijesu. Thank you, Eshomomo, for that conversation.